Okay, Matrix, today we're going to be doing a roof for you guys. So this is a paper that I've pulled off a past paper and I've just modified it a little bit so that we can obviously get everything that you need to know down. So sometimes the measurements stay the same, sometimes they're different, but you should still be able to work even with this over here. Okay, so you'll see that I've drawn two little walls here. These are our roof instructions and our roof notes and all that kind of jazz. And now we're just going to get started. There's just one thing I need still, a protractor, so let me grab that quickly. Okay, so you'll see that they've given us a schematic diagram of a roof truss. Just ignore the EE, like I say, this came from a past paper, so we're not going to worry about that right now. And they give us 20-degree roof pitch, roof trusses, wall plates, overhang, fiber cement roof sheeting, purlins, fascia boards, gutters, ceiling boards, branding strips, and so on. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is we are going to halve our wall. So obviously, you know, a load-bearing wall will be 220 millimeters, and a non-load-bearing wall will be 111 millimeters. Okay, so I just made mine 10, so I'm just gonna half it. Is it 10? No, it's 11. Okay, so you're gonna half your wall to start off with. Like that over there, and you're gonna do the same on the other side. Mine's slightly off, so let me just fix my wall and put in a new line over here. Okay, so now that we've got our walls, we're obviously going to start off with our ceiling boards, our wall plates, and everything like that. Okay, so you can actually start off by drawing a line going from the bottom in the middle of the wall all the way across to the bottom in the middle of the wall on the other side, just like this over here. So normally with our wall, our roof drawings and in our test papers and things like that, we have to draw to a scale of 1 to 20 when we're doing this kind of stuff. So we're going to have to divide all of our measurements by 120. So I'm just going to quickly do that and then write them on here so we can obviously work together without having to waste any time. Okay, so now that we've got our measurements, we can continue. So the first thing you're going to start by drawing are your wall plates, which they've given our measurements over here. So that is 5.7 by 2. So it should be half your wall with a height of 2. So you will draw half your wall. You'll get a measurement of 2 going up. And you will draw those lines across, just across to the wall length. Obviously, don't let your wall look like this one. Let it look like this one. Okay, so there you've got your wall plates like this over here. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to put an X in the wall plate so that it should look like this. And then let me just do the same on the other side, and let me just check that the measurements are correct, because this one looks a lot smaller for some reason. Okay, this other wall is going to be a problem for me, but yours should be fine. Okay. Okay, so you'll have your wall plates like this over here. Just focus on this side more than this side. Sorry, guys. Okay, and then you're going to have a look at your roof drawing. You're going to see there's 400 cc and there's like spaces across the entire roof. All right, and then there's obviously you've got the, what are they called again? They are called your branding. So your branding strips, okay, branding strips, so this much apart. I want to find the brandering bits, so it'll be 40 by 40. Okay, so that means that you're going to draw a line across your page just like this over here, and you're going to measure. This is really irritating me how skew it is. Okay, you're going to measure your 20 millimeters, so you're going to go 20 from the edge, so there will be 20, and then you're going to measure an additional 20. So what you're doing is you're getting these measurements in now. Okay, and obviously this is a past paper, so like I say, I'm just doing this to show you the general principle, but if it's not exactly the same, then it's also not the end of the world. Okay, and then we'll obviously have 20 over there as well. Okay, so once you've got that, you're going to put in your brandering. So it'll be this over here, so it'll be 2 by 2. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to make a line, you're going to have a measurement of 2, and you're going to draw in squares like this, and then you're going to put a cross in them to show that you have got your squares. So this all the way across for every single one of the measurements that you made. Sometimes it touches the edge, sometimes it doesn't. It's one thing that actually really irritates me, but it is what it is. Okay, and then again you're going to just measure 2 across all of these, and when you have done that, you're going to put a cross inside every single one of these blocks. So let's just do that quickly. Okay, and then you're going to put a cross. Just make sure it goes exactly from corner to corner in each and every single one of your blocks. So I'm going to quickly do the rest off of camera so that I can save you a bit of time, and then we'll come back. Okay, so now that we have got that, we're going to put in our roof trusses, which are obviously these bits over here, the wooden planks that will go on your roof. I'll stick a photo on if you actually haven't seen it before, but I'm sure most of you would have, or at least know what it is. And they are 12.5 in thickness, so you are going to measure from this point first, 12.5. That seems incredibly large. Oh, that's the overhang. 5.7 is the correct one. Okay, 5.7. So you can just, I'm going to just make it 6. Okay, the roof truss is 5.7. Okay, so once you've got that, you're going to draw a line across your page like that to show where your roof truss is, and you will then draw it going down like that. Okay, so they give us a 20-degree roof pitch, which means that the angle of the roof is sitting at 20 degrees. So you can take your protractor and you're basically going to measure 20 degrees. So over here we have 20 degrees at this point over here, so you can see it's quite a small angle, and then we've got 20 degrees over here, and then we're just going to use our ruler to make lines going straight through. So if you have a different kind of a roof truss, sometimes it's 30 degrees, sometimes it's not, then that will probably make things easier for you. And it's just nice so that you can obviously get sort of the idea of where everything else is going to go. So we know the middle will be at this point over here, so we are going to draw a line going up like this. So what I like to do is I like to put the roof truss at this angle right on top of this point over here. So that will mean what I normally do is I measure from angle over here. So we obviously again have 5.7. So I'm just going to make it 6, and I'll do the same on the other side as well. Okay, and then measure it on other sides as well, because then at least that way you can get a pretty accurate line. So what I mean is just so that you can actually connect the dots that you've made to make an equal angle. Just like this over here. And then the same with this one over here. So there we go. Okay, so now that we've got that truss in, we can make it solid, but I'm just going to go ahead and make this bit here. So we obviously know this is our halfway point, so we're going to measure 3 through on our trusses to get the 5.7. Like I say, I'm just rounding it off to make it easier for me to show you guys. So there we've got the one truss and the other side of the truss over here. Okay, and then if you have a look here, they give us this angle here, which is at 30 degrees. So we are going to, that's not 30 degrees, we are going to draw a line from the bottom there at 30 degrees. Or you can actually go from the middle line rather. Let's do that instead. So we go from the middle line at 30 degrees and the middle line at 30 degrees. And then we are going to take 3 and 3 on either side. So here we'll have 3, and on the other side we'll have 3 as well. And then we're going to do the same on the other side, measuring 3 and 3. 3, 3. And then once you have got those points, you can obviously just take your 30-degree set square and you can draw in those roof trusses as well. So there we've got the one, and here we'll stick the other one in like this. Okay, so now that we have got that, I'm going to just make these ones solid real quick so that it starts to look like it makes some sense. Starting with the inside bits. Okay, and then we obviously know that we still have these roof trusses here to do, so we are going to draw lines going down from the middle point, and then we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to measure 3, 3 on either side. If your guys' measurements different, then obviously you guys are going to use your measurements for your drawing. Okay, and then we're just going to draw these going straight up. Okie dokie. So we've got this so far. Okay, so you'll see it actually starts to look like a roof once you get to this section over here. And then we want to read more of our notes. So we know, okay, we've used our 20-degree roof pitch. Okay, we've drawn our roof trusses. We've drawn our wall plates. Okay, then they tell us they've got a roof overhang of 12.5 to the end of the roof trusses, meaning we are going to then take our truss and we are going to measure 12.5, which will be about here in that section over there, and then you're going to do the same 12.5, which will be there. To me, that's a little bit small looking, in my opinion. Why does this one feel so much smaller? 12.5. Okay, that one I measured a bit too big. So I'm going to just make, you guys can obviously, like I said, do your measurements. I'm going to make it bigger because I personally don't like how this looks. I'm going to make mine an overhang of 20. I just want to see something quickly. Your overhang is measured from this side here. Sorry, guys. Okay, that looks better. Okay, so let's just draw a line like that and then measure from the edge of your wall 12.5. Looks much better that way, otherwise it looks far too small. Okay, and your overhang is obviously like, you know, if you look at a roof on a house and you can stand underneath, and when it rains, it's like that normally the one little section of the house that generally doesn't get wet depending on like the rain. But yeah, so that's basically what it is. It's just a little bit that hangs over the roof. And then we're obviously still going to have our roof truss that we are going to have to stick in. So we are going to draw the top of our wall finished all the way to the edge of the roof over here and on the side over here. And then the remaining bits of where your roof ends, you are going to draw the rest of your truss to that point, so it should look like that. And then you'll do the same on the other side. So it should look like that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw these lines going up and then finish the trusses over here real quick. Okay, so it should look like this over here. Our next step would be so you'll notice that I haven't drawn over the wall, and that's because we are going to actually extend them up just a little bit more, but I've at least got the truss in. So now we are going to, we've done the overhang, the roof trusses. Okay, so they give us two more things that we need to do. So that's the fiber cement roof sheeting, and they give us the purlins for that as well. And then we still need to do the fascia boards and the gutters. So the fiber cement roof sheeting will obviously be a thickness of 1 mil, but we still need to do like the ceiling board again with the purlins. So they give us that it's 900 across like that over there, and they give us the measurements as well. So it's going to be the same sort of idea as that, which means we are going to then measure a height of 2.5 going up. So over here we'll measure 2.5 and we'll do the same at another point so that we can obviously make sure our angles are equal. So you're going to draw it out like that, and then you're going to do the same on the other side. 2.5, 2.5. I honestly really don't like civil drawings because for me they take so long and I just don't have the patience for them because there's so many little finicky details, but I know like a lot of people enjoy them, so that's cool. I guess everyone has their favorite section, but I can tell you mine is definitely not civil. Okay, there we go. So there we've got our lines over there, and then obviously we are going to be doing our little squares again, and our measurements of 45. So from the middle we're going to do, this will also actually have a line in it because it's two trusses meeting, and we're going to measure 45 and 45, and then I'm going to do one more 45 over there. Okay, and then we're going to do the same on the other side. So we're going to have 45 and 45 and then 45 as well. Okay, and then you are going to draw your squares at a bit of an angle, so it would be better if you could measure on the top as well. So here you'll go, hold on a second, it's got to be straight, won't quite be there, it will be there. So just make sure your lines are completely straight. So there, 45. Don't freehand it, just use your rulers to get the right angles, but I'm going to freehand it because I just want you to understand the general idea. So there you go. And then we're going to do the same on the other side as well. 45 and 45. Okay, it's really bothering me that this one seems to go over the edge while the other one doesn't. So let me just check my measurements. That's not 45. There we go. That's 45. Okay, that is 45. That is 45. I find that so strange. That's really going to bother me. But anyways, we'll carry on. Okay, and then you're basically going to do the same thing. So obviously it's 2.5. So 2.54. So you're going to measure 4 now, like that. And you'll draw in your little strips like this over here. Okay, so I'm going to carry on and I'm going to do the rest, and then we'll come back and we'll finish the roof. Okay, sorry about that. So you'll see that I actually just adjusted these to be right on the edge because that makes more sense. So mine's not really measured correctly, but as long as you get the concept down, then it's fine, because you're going to get different roofs all the time. So there we go. And then obviously our last step is our roof sheeting, which has got one of the last steps, which has got a measurement or a thickness of 1. So you're basically going to make lines, you're going to connect them, and you're going to do a slight overhang, except mine is just so skewed. This is really bugging me. Okay, let's do that again on this side. Okay. Okay, there we go. That looks a lot better. And it should have a slight overhang from where your wall sits over here, obviously, so that your sheeting can cover your roof. I just actually quickly want to fix this one just so that it looks a little bit better, and then we will continue. Okay, that looks a whole lot better. Okay, then there are a couple of things that we still need to finish off. For instance, your wall would be one of those things which will go right up there to obviously support your roof. So we're going to draw that wall right over there. Okay, and then remember, you always hatch at 45 degrees. So when you're hatching brick, you are going to have small little measurements like that, followed by big gap, then a small gap again, and then a big gap again. So it should look like that. And then the same on the other side. So we'll have our small gap, our big gap, small gap, and the big gap. Okay, so your hatching should be like that. Remember, your hatching must always be lighter than your drawing. And then sometimes they ask you for fascia boards and gutters on sides. Did I get my fascia board measurements? I did not. By 20, so that will be 7.5, and that will be 5. Okay, so let's just do that. So your fascia board, I'll also put a picture up for you. It is basically like a cover, if you want to call it that, that kind of covers your drawing. So they give us that it's 10 by 1. So you're basically going to draw a line down and measure 10 with a thickness of 1. So just like this over here. And then be the same on the other side. So you'll measure 10. Okay, and then your thickness will be 1. Okay, so those will be your fascia boards. Like I say, it's kind of like a cover. And then your gutters, obviously, what we obviously have our water in. So it'll be 7.5, which normally runs, I can't even remember if it's under, This is embarrassing. It's embarrassing because I studied architecture and I didn't finish architecture, but I mean I studied and I still do not know these things. So let me just 100% double check and then we will continue. So just went and double checked to make sure, obviously I wouldn't mess you guys around. So it will be 5, so you're going to put it halfway. They leave like a little bit of a gap. So I would say leave a gap then, maybe like a 1 mil gap. So you leave a gap, so there's your 5. And then you're going to make lines. I just want to bring those across to the other side as well, so it's even. And then we'll do the same on the other side like that. And then obviously we know the other measurement we had was 7.5. So you're going to measure 7.5 and then you'll obviously draw in your cutter. So we'll have that measurement over there and then I'm just going to draw these in. Like that, and then we're going to do the same on the other side quickly. I leave about a 1 mil gap. Measure 7.5. And then we are going to close it off over there and then just make sure your lines are straight. Okay, and then obviously with the fascia board you're actually going to draw a line going behind because it wraps around the entire house. So from there should be like that, and then my measurement again is off. Okay, well that's basically how you do it. So I hope this helped you regardless of me doing really dumb stuff. Okay, so there we go. So that's your roof. Luckily for you guys, you are not, probably not, okay, I'm not going to say definite, but you're probably not going to get asked to draw an entire roof like this. Normally when they do an exam, they do like a section of a roof or like a section of a roof like that, so that you only have to draw part of the roof. But I hope this helped you anyways to just get a little bit of an understanding of what is expected from you guys when drawing a roof. Sometimes they also ask you guys for like a roof cap. In this question they didn't, but normally they'll just give you measurements for a roof cap, so they might give you a certain radius and then like a little part, so it might just be for instance your radius, and then you might have a part and you just measure your thickness and it should cover like that. So it depends on the question that they ask you guys, so it's good to practice different questions because then you get experience doing a lot of different examples. Yeah, so I hope this helped you.